Hello everybody, welcome back to the Audi My Team save on F1 22. Today, as you can see, we're going to be heading to Jeddah, one of my favourite circuits in the game. Obviously in real life there is a lot of connotations with this circuit, but yeah, in the actual game I think it's a brilliant circuit to drive around. So we're going to be heading to Jeddah today. Last time out, get ready for spoilers. Last time out we finished, where did we finish? 15th in the end. Which I don't think is too bad. There were a couple of DNFs though. No, Ricardo DNF'd. I believe Lance Stroll DNF'd as well. But yeah, not the worst result in the world considering the car. We've not made any real upgrades to it. We've got a couple in progress. But at the moment, yeah, we're kind of just middling at the back of the field. But obviously, it's going to take time to get back up to where we want to be. You know, I'm hoping by the end of the season we'll kind of be at that Alfa Romeo level. You know, kind of heading towards the top of the midfield. But in the meantime, let's get straight into practice at Jeddah. So here we go, now we're just getting into this practice. You know, it's not really about lap time, it's more just getting comfortable with the car. I haven't actually done Jeddah yet on this year's game, especially going a bit wide there into those couple of corners. But yeah, I haven't done Jeddah yet on this year's game. That was a disgusting corner. Please don't judge me too harshly for that. And obviously, you know, we've got that slightly different handling model, so I think it's definitely going to take a bit of time in getting used to it. But yeah, last year I absolutely loved this track, and I'd like to think we can pull in a pretty decent result today. So on this second lap now, we're actually really doing good against the Delta. You know, we did well on that first lap, but in this second lap we're really, you know, just getting used to the actual track. A little bit too deep into that turn. But yeah, I feel like Jeddah's the kind of track where you can really get great race pace, to be honest, and that's what we're doing the practice for, because you can just get into a really good rhythm, you know, in terms of braking zones and things like that, and you can just fly around this lap, and you know, lap after lap you can really just get the laps in and get some really good times, and I think that'll be helpful for us today.
Great lap, you nailed exactly what we asked for.
Again, now on this third lap, picking up even more time from our best. You know, we're really just... This is what I mean, you can really get into a good rhythm on a track like Jeddah. And as much as I'm not a fan of it, you know, it's one of those tracks, you know, Formula 1 does some interesting things. And oh, picked up a little bit of damage there, I think. Which is going to hurt this lap a little bit. We were 5 or 6 tenths up. Well, we were about 1.2 seconds up, and we've definitely lost a bit of time. And luckily, I don't think we've actually sustained damage. But you know, it's not. This lap could have been a lot more. We're not going to be able to get to where we want to be. We'll keep going, and I'll come back to you guys at the end of practice. So there we go, then finishing up practice. Me and Marcus both getting some good resource points for the team. Obviously they're going to be vital. You know, we really do need to be kind of playing catch up with all the other teams now. So let's dive into qualifying and see if that decent race pace, let's see if we can take that into qualifying and maybe get our first Q2 of the season. So here we go, now we put the setup on the car. We're going to drive out now, and I mean, let's see what we can do. I've got some optimism that because I really do like this track, we might get a decent lap. Now, in my luck, I'm probably going to put it in the wall, and you know, we'll start the race right from the back. But yeah, let's see. We're going to get this out lap. The team's going to let us out now. Here we go. Let's see what we can do at Saudi Arabia. So here we go now. This is it. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what lap we can set at Saudi Arabia as we look to get this Audi into Q2 for the first time this season. Not a bad start, but a decent exit there. Lance Stroll going fastest. That was good. Just got to stick to these lines, and look, the corners just come at you so fast. We're just going to sit in 6th round here. Pull it back round. Obviously you can be a bit more loose on the lines here at Saudi Arabia. Some of them, you know, you'll find the outside line is a blessed place to be. Come around, that's nice. That's decent, I'm happy so far. As we head now onto the kind of second portion of the lap. Quick break there, pull around, nice, happy. Another DRS zone coming up now, the second DRS zone of course. Just hugging the left and right hand side, you know. It's millimetres, it really is, but it can make all the difference in terms of time. We've gone a little bit deep there. Pull the car back round well enough though. I think that could compromise us a little bit. There's definitely time to take out of this lap, but I'm happy so far. Just hugging this left hand side as we come up now to the racing line, all the way down into third, round the corner, and then just spring ourselves out of that last corner. Foot down. What can we set? Shortest distance to the line. P2. Look at that. Only 3 tenths off max. Obviously, this is a first attempt, but we're happy with that. Now let's go back into the garage and see what we can do. We've got Marcus coming out. You can see behind us. But yeah, I'll join you guys back when we're in the garage. Right, here we go now. We're still remarkably, we are still in, I'm pretty sure, I think P6 after that first run, which really shows how good that run was in comparison to the other cars. But we're going to go out again just because I'm aware of the fact that I mean, look at this now. Yeah, everyone is going to be heading out now for a lap. And I don't want to risk, you know, this is a really good chance to get into Q2 at a track I really like. So I don't want to risk that chance by us just, you know, trying to take a gamble on things and it not working out. So that's the plan. I'll go a little bit wide there. Not that it matters because this is just a warm-up lap. But yeah, you know, I'm really happy. I think, you know, we found some decent pace in the car. And I think definitely a lot of this is just getting used to the car itself. But let's see what we can do on this second lap in Q1. So here we go now with less than 2 minutes on the board. We're going to go for the longer route to the line to try and capitalise on that DRS. What can we do? Straight away we're already slightly down on the delta, but that's okay. Turn 1. Don't think there's a lot of time to make up here as we go quite deep into turn 1. That's going to lose us a bit of time, but we actually come out with time, which I think indicates how bad our turn 1 actually was first time out. Of course, track conditions will massively help with these times. But here we go. Oh, we'll go wide again there. That's not... See, that's... I don't think you'll get punished for that, but it's... You know, you're going to lose time there. We go around the corner, we go a bit wide there. Yeah, we're going to lose a little bit of time there, about a tenth. That's not a surprise because we did go wide there. That's nice though. As we head towards that second DRS zone coming up now. We're about 3.5 tenths up. Slowly creeping. 3.7, 3.8. That's nice. I think we're definitely going to have picked up time there, surely. Maybe not. I thought there was time there. Apparently not, but still, we're 3.5 tenths up coming into the final part, the final braking zone. If we can nail this, this is going to be a good time. We have nailed it. I think this should be enough. I don't think we'll improve by much, but this should take us into Q2 quite easily. That puts us up to second. What on earth is going on? What on earth is going on? I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. Qualifying's complete. We're in P2. What on earth is happening in Saudi Arabia? I think Lando is on a lap. Or not. But yeah, let's see. We'll wait for everyone else to finish and we'll see what happens. So yeah, I'm not sure how we ended up in P2 in Q1. Because we lost Armstrong as well. I don't know what's going on. I know there's been some weird AI stuff in this game with safety cars and whatnot, so it might be something to do with that. But we fly into Q2 in incredible fashion. So here we are now, back in... We're back in Q2. We're actually going to go out for this first stint on a pair of U-softs, on a scrubbed pair. Just because I want to kind of hold these ones in case we need them, in all honesty. So what we're going to do, we're going to let everyone else go out for a little bit first, and then we're going to head out ourselves and see what kind of lap we can do. Here we go. Here we go now. First lap in Q2. Let's see what we can do. I don't know if that Q1 lap was a weird freak event or if we've actually somehow got pace here, but we're going to see what we can do. Well, that is definitely not how we wanted to start this. That is a disaster. Let's just get out of the way of these cars. Well, we're gonna go back to the garage, put a new front wing on, and I guess see what we can do, because that is not what we want. Right, so here we go. At the moment, we're in P16. The pressure is on here. And there's no expectation that we'll go through after what happened in Q1. But we've got a new front wing on the car. That is a terrible turn. I feel like we're crumbling under the pressure here. I mean, you know, we're looking at Zhou Guanyu. I think after these first couple corners, I don't think we're going to be anywhere near him, to be honest, because we have had an absolutely horrific start to this lap. I just feel like I have no grip on the tyres. I don't know what on earth is going on. How off Zhou are we going to be? We've actually got time on Zhou. Not sure how, but again, what's wrong with these tyres? Okay, well that's what's wrong with these tyres. Either I forgot to change tyres or the team have somehow put me on the wrong tyres. Because if we're going out on 17% tyres, there is no way in hell we're going to be able to get a decent lap time in, even if we do have pace. I mean, we're going to need a miracle out here. Because look again, look how... I mean, we might be we might be making up time on Zhou, but 5 minutes on the clock. It's going to be tight to fit. Well, to go back to the garage. Oh, we've just gone so wide there. This has been an absolutely terrible lap. I don't think we have a chance of even getting past Zhou Guanyu at this rate. I mean, somehow we've got up to 11th. I don't know what is going on with these times today, but that is not a good lap. And I think, well, we're going to have to get back into the garage and get out quickly to even try and get into Q3. In the end, well, I don't know what happened. First, we had that horrific lap where we lost the front wing. Then we had a lap with the wrong tyres, and in the end, there was an issue with the car, so we couldn't... Well, by the time we got out, there wasn't enough time to even get an out lap done. So we're going to be starting in 16th. I don't know what went wrong in Q2 and what went so right in Q1, but I think we've got the pace. We've got the pace to try and get into the points today. And I guess we're just going to get into the race and see how we do. You know, 16th isn't the worst place to be in the world. It's pretty much where we started Bahrain. We started Bahrain in 17th, so let's see what we can do.
So here we are then, welcoming you today to one of the jewels of the Arab world, Jeddah, one of the biggest cities in Saudi Arabia, second only to Riyadh, gateway to Mecca, and one of the biggest ports in the region. And now, host to the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Perez, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Russell, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Gasly, and Sebastian Vettel, Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen, and Zhou. Norris, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Thomas, Yuki Tsunoda, and Daniel Ricciardo. Stroll, Armstrong, Latifi, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So here we are, it's race time. As far as strategy goes, you know, we're kind of looking at a fairly simple, medium to hard. I'm not opposed to going hard, soft, but I think just because we actually have a decent chance at points today, I'm quite happy to start on the mediums. If I was further up, I'd probably go softs, a hard soft even, and be prepared to lose the places, but I feel like we want to try and make up ground here. So yeah, let's get right into things. It's going to be 5 red lights at Saudi Arabia. And there we go, it's lights out and away we go. Not the worst start in the world, but not the best. Sonoda, oh, we are actually going to lose out to a lot of cars here. But we're going to try and creep up the inside, make sure we don't hit anybody. Don't want any warnings, but look at that. Yeah, we've managed to make up a good couple of places after quite a poor start. Lando's right behind us. He's going to try and make that look on the right-hand side, on the outside, but we're not going to let him in. Mick Schumacher in front. It's good though, good start. Is that Ocon in front going a bit wide, which is going to have to make us slow down. But you know, Saudi Arabia has these really deep corners which you can definitely look to make places in. I don't think there's anything for us there though, but already a good start. We seem to have decent race pace today. And can we have a look on the inside of Mick Schumacher? We can't. Mick's going to shut the door. And there's a Ferrari leading the way. I wouldn't be surprised if that's Charles Leclerc, followed by likely Max Verstappen. Pierre, the start, not the worst start in the world. Lando's making up that bit of ground behind us. We want to make sure we can't lose Mick though, because the DRS zones can be so strong around here. We just got to make sure we're keeping in, you know, tucking in behind Mick Schumacher, making sure we keep track with this group at the top. We don't want to be losing too much time. You know, but at the same time, we've just got to be careful. You know, you don't want to be losing places through silly manoeuvres. But yeah, it is Charles Leclerc that leads the way, going into lap 2 of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We put up a 1:41. But we're going to brake extra early because there's going to be some concertina in still because of how tight this group is. That's not the best exit. We could see Lando here look for a move. He's going to look for it on the outside. My word, Lando Norris. What on earth was that? I would not be surprised now if Lando Norris has damage. And to be honest, I do not think we can be blamed at all for what happened there. That was a reckless move from Lando. We can look for a move on Mick here. Could we? Are we going to risk it? No, but we're going to try. If we go slow in, fast out. Look at that. That's a good move. Use ERS, we bump wheels with Mick. Yeah, that damage on Lando, I'm not going to take the blame for that. I'm sure the McLaren pit wall is not happy with me. But I do not think that is anything to do with me. Look at this, we're going on the inside of Mick Schumacher. Can we get the move in on this turn, or is he just going to creep ahead again? He's going to creep ahead, but this is some great wheel-to-wheel racing at the start of this Grand Prix. Up ahead now. Coming into lap 3, I mean, things are tight between this group. I assume we're going to see Lando peel into the pits. Or are we not? No, Lando stays out. Maybe Lando didn't have damage. Maybe he just lost a little something during that incident we had and lost a bit of pace, but he seems to have gained it back. But no, K-Mag goes past him now. I think Lando must have some kind of damage. Maybe it's not enough to pit, but you know, if you were Lando Norris, you'd have to be frustrated with yourself, because I do not believe there is any blame for that accident at my door. Look for the inside of that move on Mick, but you know, again, it's not happening. And Seb is currently leading. Well, actually, no, I think Alonso is leading a train of cars here. Oh, just had to move there to avoid contact with Mick. Yeah, I believe it's Fernando Alonso at the moment who's leading this kind of mini train. It's a mini DRS train as we head to the twilight part of lap 3. But yeah, still we're keeping contact. You know, this is a good race so far from us. We're, you know, at the end of the day, we're kind of keeping track with where we started, made up those positions early, and thanks to Lando, there's going to be a lot of time between us and the cars behind. Oh, just had to slow down there because Mick Schumacher was dangerously close. And I mean, one of the issues of Saudi Arabia is that lack of DRS. It's really hard to, you know, get it charged up. You're relying on the DRS, and when you're in a DRS train, there is not much of that going around. We could have a move here on Mick Schumacher again. It's that move around the outside at turn 1. Again, that Haas just has great acceleration. And, you know, Mick's kind of leaving us out to dry. Nothing wrong with that, though. That's just good racing. And Kevin Magnussen now, I mean, Gunter will be absolutely delighted with Mick Schumacher here because he has brought Kevin Magnussen really back into this race. We're going to have the DRS on Mick now, but Mick's still getting that DRS from Esteban Ocon. He's managing to hang on to Ocon, and we're not wanting to use that ARS at the moment. But look how much ground Magnussen's made up behind. That shows how good this Haas really is, and you know, Haas is the kind of they've got a lot of pace. They really do. And you look at K-Mag, he's going to be making up ground here, even though we've both got the DRS. Yeah, again, coming into that last corner, we're seeing Ocon and Gasly fight, and they're starting to lose a little bit of ground now from that group in front. Surely now we've got a chance on Mick Schumacher. We're going to use the DRS. We're going to look to that inside line. We're going to stick it in. Can we make that move come off? Can we pull it off? Yes. Look at that. We closed the door on Mick.
Nice move. Good job.
Thank you, Mark. That was a brilliant move on Mick Schumacher, but Mick might be coming right back. We've just got to make sure we keep on Ocon, and at the moment it looks like Sebastian Vettel is holding up this train of cars. Zhou Guanyu is leading us. Alonso's managed to break away. The Alpine has really good straight line speed, both in real life of course and in this year's game. But yeah, it's been a good start to this Grand Prix. You know, we're making up positions, not quite in the points yet, but there's definitely a chance of points today. And if you'd had offered us that before the race started, we would have snatched your hand off. Here comes Mick Schumacher. Mick's on the inside. He's not giving up on that position yet. Oh my word, we're 3 wide in the corner. Look at that. Ocon misses out. Ocon's managed to lose 2 places from that. He hasn't even got the DRS. He is going to be absolutely devastated of that last move, that last corner. Just losing out on 2 places. Me and Mick both being very opportunistic. We get a good run out of that corner though. Look at that again, we're putting a lot of pressure on Mick. Practically pushing him along. Can we get the inside? We're looking. I don't think we're going to be able to onto it. The Haas just has such good speed. You know, and at the moment we really cannot. We're trying to focus upgrades on the power unit, but at the moment we just cannot compete with the pace that Ferrari engine has in the Haas. Oh my word! What on earth? Zhou Guanyu there. Zhou Guanyu nearly causing a massive accident on that last corner. Esteban Ocon into the pits, but what on earth was happening to Zhou Guanyu there?
6.8 seconds.
Came into that corner, looked around, and Zhou Guanyu was nearly on his side. But look at this, what a fight here we've got. Kevin Magnussen must be looking ahead thinking, you know, if I can get past here, there's a good chance of points here. There's 5 cars here battling over that single point that P10 will give. We can make the move past Mick. We're going to make the move off Pierre Gasly off the track, but the FIA are happy with that. And look at that, we've just made up 2 places. Got a new strategy.
Okay, copy that.
Mark seems to think we can make these mediums last a bit longer, which is fine with me. But what a move. Unexpectedly, we have somehow nearly ended up in the points. And Mick Schumacher and Pierre Gasly have now dropped out of the DRS range. Me and Zhou Guanyu, it's gone from a 5-way fight for P10 to a 2-car shoot-off in 3 or 4 corners of this 8th lap of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And I think Zhou Guanyu can sense that, you know, we do have decent race pace today. He was flying past us in Bahrain, but can we make the move now? Just taking all the slipstream we can get. We're going to go too wide into the corner. We're going to go a little bit wide to try and get that catapult out of turn. And there we go. Look at that, up to P10. The first time this year we've seen an Audi car in the points, but Zhou Guanyu is going to have the DRS. There's a racing point car apparently ahead of us. Apparently in this alternate universe, Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll still... Oh, we've gone wide there. That might see us give up the place to Zhou Guanyu, and he's going to fly past, I think. Yeah, in this universe apparently Lance Stroll did not stay at racing... Well, he did stay at racing point, apparently. I mean, coming into the DRS now, we could actually make a move on Sebastian Vettel, which, coming into a lap where we are just going to confirm the box before we go in, if we can get the jump on Vettel at the end of this lap and then box onto some new hards, we could have a really good chance here of, you know, P10 is points, but P9 is more points, and it also gives us a little bit of protection from some of the cars behind. Here we go now, we're going to box this lap, go onto the hards. Everyone's going to fly past. Who else is coming into the pits? Magnussen pits, Gasly pits. Let's get a good pit stop here. Optimal pit stop. Let's get it on, team. No problems. Come on. That's good. Good pit stop. We'll take that. Let's get out. Just make sure no accidents on the way out. Make sure we don't cross that line, because I'm going to have to... These tyres are going to be cold, cold, cold. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm glad that we've got the pit stop out of the way, to be honest. I feel like the time we lose on this lap, even if we end up losing a little bit more time than the other cars because of warming them up, it will be worth it in the long run. Who have we got there? We've got Vettel there. Can we get past him? We can't, but that shows we had a really good outlap on these tyres, because Vettel... You know, his tyres are going to be cold. We should be able to get past Seb quite easily. We're just going to have to do it cautiously. I think we had a little bit of a bump there, but the car's okay. And look at that, we're flying now in 9th place. The gap to Alonso is 11 seconds. I feel like we're going to be having a very, very, very lonely race. But if it's a lonely race in P9, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh my, out of nowhere, Carlos Sainz has just pulled to the side. Sainz is now out of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. That's going to be another place for us, and our day has just gone from, well, amazing to even better than amazing. There's Carlos Sainz there, he's out. I don't know what happened. The FAI, I don't think there's a need for a safety car, which I guess kind of makes sense. He's safely off the track, but all of a sudden this race has become even more rewarding for us at the moment. We've just got to make sure we're holding on to, you know, this P8 now. Our first points of the season are on the cards here, and what an achievement that would be to get that in a, you know, a car that's still not really anywhere near where we want it to be. Here we are now, coming into lap 21. 5 laps to go. We have been gaining on the 2 in front, but as you can see from that bottom right hand corner, at the moment I am quite worried about the fuel. I think we're probably just going to have to sacrifice any chance we have of getting to that 6th place fight in order to just make sure we can actually finish the race.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
And I think that does it. That will do it. Front wing damage. We're just going to have to settle for these points now, because we are not going to be able to catch up with those guys in front. With a yellow wing, it's not possible. It's just not going to happen. Unless we see a massive accident, we're just not going to have the actual drag on the car to be able to get around some of these corners, but we're not going to give up. And to be honest, it doesn't seem to be affecting the car that much, remarkably. I feel like last year, if you took even the slightest hint of damage, your car would just give up on you. But, you know, we're just going to... If we take this corner slowly, I see no reason why somehow we actually can't keep fighting for those positions. Is P6 on the cards? It should not be on the cards in this car, but it might just end up coming out that way. Here we come now into lap 24. 2 laps to go. And again, look at these two in front fighting. We're going to coast, we're going to lift. But look at the fight in front, and we are going to join in on this fight. I don't know if we're going to have the pace to beat either of them, but remarkably, what you got to remember is when... Look how close we are now. When we came out the pits, we were 15 seconds behind Fernando Alonso and Valtteri Bottas.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
Look at there, Bottas nearly squeezing us out, but, you know, through these two fighting, we've actually managed to somehow... I'm going to go for a move there, unless there's something around the outside of Bottas. But, you know, this car, I think we're going to have a situation where, you know, there is no way we're going to be able to maintain this kind of pace in other races. But Saudi Arabia is maybe just a combination of being... Oh, I just hit the wall again. The car just doesn't have the... You know, that it's just lacking that extra edge that having a full front wing gives it. But here we go now. We've got one more lap after this. We might as well go for it. The fuel is... I lose time there. That left-hander. I'm looking at the car, that big yellow front wing. It's absolutely clear behind us. DRS is open though. It's going to be a 1-lap shootout between Fernando Alonso, Valtteri Bottas and us in this damaged Audi. There's no lifting and coasting on lap 25, I can tell you that. But here we go now. We're going to see Bottas once again make a move on Alonso. We're going to see these two yet again slow things right down. Not in the first chicane. Bit of understeer there. He's trying to drag it around that corner. I think it's going to be a case of so close but so far in the end, and that front wing damage is going to be the thing that stops us. But we will see. Let's just keep it clean. We don't want any accidents now. If we have to take P8, it's still a fantastic result, but here we go. What a race it's been. Going to see Charles Leclerc or Max Verstappen across the line. If you look down, we can see them. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Leclerc? It is Leclerc, and look at that, the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on the last lap. What a race that's ended up being. But the race isn't over here though. There is still a chance for Valtteri Bottas to get past Fernando Alonso, for us to get past Valtteri Bottas maybe. But even if we finish this race in P8, it's a fantastic result. And it's one that I think puts too much pressure on us going into other races, because I do not see us being able to keep this pace. But here we go now, Bottas is looking, they're wheel to wheel. Look at this. It looks like Alonso's done it though. And what a finish, P8. That's a fantastic result. Let's go.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
A sterling effort from the team and a magnificent drive to secure victory here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
I have to give it to Thomas. Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not easy to cut through the field like that in Formula 1, so it was a great effort.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings, and Red Bull take over as championship leaders. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula 1 action. I can't wait to see what's next.
I mean, wow, what a race. I can't explain where that pace came from today. We finished P8 from P16. I don't know where Armstrong ended up, well, not quite propping up the table, but 20th for him. So another win for Charles Leclerc, back-to-back wins for him. But look at that, Verstappen just 400 a second off the pace. That is incredible. 4 tenths off the pace for him. Sergio Perez finishes the podiums. It's P4 and P5 for Lewis. If we go look at the Drivers' Championships, we move up to P9 in what I think might be a rare point score for us this season, but we'll see. Leclerc leads the way, Verstappen, then Perez. The Mercedes. Look at the constructors, there we go, up to 6th. Obviously it's very early on. I'd like to think that... I find it unbelievable that Haas, still only 2 points from Haas, but Red Bull and Ferrari lead the way. Mercedes in 3rd. I think that's going to be how that looks at the end of the year. But yeah, there we go. That was Jeddah. Absolutely delighted with that result. Next time out, we'll be going to Australia. Fairly similar track to Jeddah in terms of pace and things like that, so maybe there'll be a surprise there. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Audi My Team. Join us next time for Australia. And that's all from me today. Peace out.